All right. Hey, everybody. We are live.
Hi.
Surprise! It's not just me this week. Let me check to make sure we got all systems go, because you know how I do. I just need to make sure it's pointing where it needs to point. Yes. So we're good. Oh, there we go. I think we're good, Rashida. I think we're good. So everybody, this is typically our, well, it's still a Thursday. It's still Affirm and Pursue. It's still our weekly live event, but we decided to come on in here because we had been in Clubhouse all week doing it. And we've had some amazing conversations in the Clubhouse, and we realized not everybody is in Clubhouse just yet because y'all not on iOS. I don't know what to tell y'all. But anyway, I ain't gonna start no fights there.
Come on over.
But you can come on over. I'm just saying.
Join both worlds, okay?
Yes. Go get yourself an iPad or something. I don't know, and plug on in. But no, I'm excited. I'm always excited for the Thursday because the Thursday flows right into the Friday. And yeah, I'm just, I'm loving it. I'm grateful to be on the other side of the dirt. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So I know somebody didn't wake up this morning, and God gave me one more day. So I'm grateful for it, and I'm going to push through. And they says, let everything that have breath. So on tonight, we wanted to come in here and open the room, open the virtual space for this topic that we have been doing all week in the Clubhouse called Reignite Your Finances. Okay. A lot of you know, if you see my timeline, you see that I am pushing this movement. I'm pushing a summit that we have coming up on May 2nd. But leading up to that, we want to come in here and have some crucial conversations. My girl Rashida, she's a financial coach. The ladies in the Affirm and Pursue community was able to be blessed by her story last week about how she has been able to crush debt and her financial journey and how it wasn't easy. And so I asked her to come back this week and do a co-panel with me so that we can bless y'all with some more wisdom and why it's important to reignite your finances. So a little bit about me, because I am streaming on multiple platforms multiple pages within the same platform. A little bit about me. I am a financial coach, and I empower women. I empower women to be the best version of themselves in the areas of self-love, money matters, and purpose. Feedback. All right. So hopefully you guys can hear that. But I lead with self-love because I believe when you know who you are and whose you are, you can show up more boldly and make intentional decisions as it relates to your money matters. And so it's important that the queens out there under the sound of my voice, we know who we are in God, right? So that we are not taken advantage of. No one can tell us what to do with our finances. No one can tell us what to do with our journey because it's ours, and we can live the life that He has for us. So that's a little bit about me. I have paid off a little over $60,000 in debt, and I'm still moving on up to crush it even further. And there's 3 reasons why I will continue to do so: because it robs me of my peace, interest is not paid to me, and my bank account is not happy. Right? And I have a multitude of reasons, but for those top 3 reasons is why I will continue to crusade to have people crush debt and to do it with various strategies so that they can free up their hard-earned coins to do whatever they want to do with it. So, Rashida, please go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
All right. How's everybody doing out there? Yes, we are talking about Reignite Your Finances. I am Rashida I am the CEO of Target Financial, and I help people ditch debt. I help my singles and my educators ditch debt. I have a book coming out called Find Your Spark, 7 Steps to Ditch Stress and Ignite Your your financial lifestyle. So this topic definitely goes right along with that, because a lot of times we see ourselves in a dead end. And so I'm really committed to helping men and women crush the debt, change their mindset, set boundaries, and just live the life that God meant for them to live, and and get to freedom, get that peace back, and stop the stress, because a lot of times it is a life and death situations. A lot of times when it comes to money, people commit suicide. People living in their cars, and they're just a lot of marriages break up, and it's a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and that yoke is very heavy. And so those are reasons why we need to just crush the debt and really change our mindset. Think about what you're doing right now and how you're living and the values that you have and what you see on TV and social media, through the music genres that you may listen to. What are they telling you to do? Are they telling you to buy? Or are you subscribing to that? And if so, why? Why are you subscribing to that? And how is it working out for you thus far? And so, I really challenge people to change their mindset and really start putting in some boundaries, not just for other people, but for themselves as well. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I haven't crushed as much debt as Miss Yvonne Brown, but guess what? It's not a comparison. Your journey is your journey. And so within a little over within the first 12 months, I crushed $15,000 worth of debt. And I am still on that journey, still going. I got a good amount to crush this year, and the devil is a liar, and I'm going to do it. And we're going to just keep going. And I invite anybody to come along with me, to come along with us and crush that together, because we're going to be talking about some retreats real soon. Okay. And just doing a lot of different things to really celebrate men and women. I know Yvonne is all about our queens, and I try to tackle the kings and the queens. But those retreats would definitely be something to have fun and commingle with. So yes, when we crush our debts, right? Woo.
That's right. And I apologize if you guys get any feedback. I'm learning something new today. So we're actually going to go on Clubhouse as well. So if the people come on in, they can hear what's going on. So apologies in advance if you hear any feedback. Just bear with us and we'll get through it. But yeah, so if you're seeing us for the first time, second time, third time, please just come on in and say, hey, introduce yourself. Let us know where you are tuning in from. We would love to acknowledge you. If you have any input, put it in the comments. We have time boxed this till about 30 minutes because, I'm a stickler for time and I like to respect people's time because I know we don't want to go all night. People got things to do. So we're going to talk about debt. Because hey, that's what I'm all about. That's my goal. That's what I'm focused on. And we're also going to talk about a couple of other things like budgeting, why that's important, why you don't need to worry about your credit score while paying off debt, and how you can give yourself an instant pay raise. Okay, so those are the three things that we're going to talk about tonight. So if you have any comments as we're going through and we're giving you gems, please drop it in the comment. We'll do our best to bring it up on screen so we can acknowledge you. Okay. So,
and those of you who are on Clubhouse, feel free to just hit us in the DM on Instagram, because we are streaming live right now on Facebook and multiple areas. So you can ask your question in our inbox, because I'm pulling up my Instagram right now in case we get any questions. All right, take it away,
perfect.
Queen.
Thanks, Rashida. Okay, so why budget? Why not budget? There are different schools of thoughts out there on. Some people believe you shouldn't budget because it restricts you. Other people believe you should budget because they need to know what's going on. I always say, and I coach, that budgeting is paramount to your success with paying off debt. It's paramount to your financial journey. And guess what? It just makes you be a good steward of your money, period. I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't know where my money was going every month. And there are people who are not strong enough to just say, okay, and during this month, I'm just going to allocate X amount of dollars and I don't need to track it. You know what? I'm a PM by day. And so I plan and I track everything, right? Because I have to make sure that my teams are set up for success. And so if we don't plan, if we don't map out what we're going to do, we don't know what we're pushing towards or what's in scope versus what's out of scope. So when I think of a budget, I think of it in that manner. Like if I'm not budgeting and if I'm not assigning my coins, my hard-earned coins, right? If I don't know where they're going, then I'm going to end up back where I started. And so a budget is a blueprint. It is a necessary thing that you need to make sure that you stay on track with your spending, so that you're not subscribing to lifestyle inflation, you know, keeping up with the Joneses, so that you're not giving everyone your hard-earned coins, setting up boundaries, because we can say no to the folks in love. We can do it. And it just keeps you honest. And so it needs to be a part of your financial plan. It needs to be a part of your spending plan, especially around the holidays where, you know, we know about big business, which takes a third of our income. For those of us who celebrate every holiday, you know, we gotta do New Year's. February is Valentine's. Then you got March Madness and St. Patty's, and it just goes on and on and on. And so if you need to reset because you're just out of control, the budget is where you need to start. And I realize, folks, that it's not easy the first time, especially if you're not used to doing it. But I promise you, if you just take the time and you just list, this is my income, these are my expenses. And you always want to make sure that at the top of your expenses is your four walls, meaning your necessities, because you got to eat, right? You need somewhere to sleep. You need to make sure that you got clothing, you know, clothes on your back, if that's something you need, and you need transportation. So whatever your necessities are, that always comes out at the top. And with that is charitable contributions. I personally don't tell people what to give. That's between you and the Almighty God. That's a personal thing. I know they teach a 10%. Listen, I'm not getting into that today because we'll do another talk about that. But, you know, if that's a necessity for you, you put that in there. I also don't preach on percentages because not everyone's pockets are created equal. But I will say you need to make sure that once you know how much income you're getting, you need to make sure that you take care of your necessities at the top. And then everything else flows below that. So if you want to put some money away from savings, if you're in a debt payoff journey and you know that you're using the debt snowball method, and you know that this bill that I'm paying the smallest balance, I'm going to put some excess money towards that while I pay the minimum on others. If that's what you need to do, you do that. But a budget is paramount to your financial success. I don't know how I would have gotten so far and paid off as much debt as I did if I didn't have something keeping me honest. There are various ways you can budget. Some people like pen to paper. Others enjoy an app. It doesn't matter what it is that you use, as long as you're doing the exercise, you're doing it, and you're building up the good habit to budget consistently. And I forgot to say that mindset plays a part in this. So if you're not in the right mindset, and if you're not serious about your financial journey, you won't budget consistently. You won't budget with intention, because it'll just be like, whatever. You'll probably start one day and then forget about it the next day. You'll probably start 1 month and then don't do it for 2 or 3 months. Check your mindset first and make sure that you get clear on your goals of why you're doing what you need to do. And then buckle down and do your budget. If you have any other questions concerning a budget, you know, you can put it in the chat and I'll be sure to answer that for you. And I do realize that some people may not consistently get paid every 2 weeks, every other week. once a month. There's people that have irregular paying jobs.
But you
so
can
I think to you people, you just take the average of what you think your income will be, and you just use that as a guide, right? And if you know that that's you fall in that bucket, even more key to use a budget, right? And start to look at what you can cut, what you don't need. Guys, I can tell you that when this whole COVID situation occurred, it's still occurring, but last year, my car, I'm remote, so my car sat. And I called my insurance company. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Car's sitting. What's up? I need, you going to give me some credits? Like, what are we talking about here? And I got $50. So I said, okay, that was good for the first couple of months. We all been home for about a year or so. Calling back up. Hey, what's going on? You're going to give me, need another credit. The car's still sitting. I'm not really driving it like that. No, man, we can't give you any more. Oh, you can't? Okay. So I went and found myself an insurance broker, fired that insurance company, and I'm saving over $2,000 because I was bold enough to pick up the phone and call and say, my car has been sitting. I need to know if you can give me a cheaper rate, making sure that my coverage limits were indeed in line with what I was looking for, and to save some money. And then that money that I'm saving now, I'm putting it towards my debt. So for those of you who fall into a situation where you may have some irregular income, or you're not making as much income, this is an opportunity to use your budget as a guide to see where you need to cut, to see who you need to call and negotiate some bills and save and do some couponing, whatever you need to do. You will realize that the things you thought you need, you don't need. But your four walls, those definitely need to be a part of your budget.
Amen, sister. Amen. And I'm not going to say too much about that because we got a next topic. But I did hear you say something about plans, right? Plans. And a lot of us, I'm Christian, and I know Yvonne is Christian as well. And so the Bible talks a lot about making plans. Suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? Luke 14:28, plans. Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. For I know I have the plans for you. In their hearts, humans plan their course. These are all verses straight from the Bible. May he give you the desire of your heart and make all your plans succeed. And here I'll say this last one. Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. See, we go out and we find, that's Proverbs 15:22. You might want to write that one down, because we go out and we get somebody for our hair, we get somebody for our nails, we get somebody for, everything else, but we never look to actually find people to help us with our finances. Finances, those are things they teach you a little bit, but they don't teach you the actual gain, that you need in order to succeed. You kind of have to hunt for that information. And so your budget is your plan. And I say, we too grown out here to be without a budget. You too grown to be just wilding out with your money with no action, behind it, because money is a tool, and tools are used to, fix things or build things. And, every tool has its purpose. And so money fixes and, works for some things. It's not going to cover every aspect of your life, but it is a tool that, covers a large area of your life. Right. And so you do need to make, you do need to make plans. And like Ms. Brown has just said, I love, people do it differently. Me, I'm a digital person. So I write it down first. I write everything down first, because that's how it gets, that's how the vision starts. And after I write it down, then I go through and work it out on my computer, because I like to have stuff with me at all times. So, and then a lot of people, it just depends on who you are. Sometimes I do my budget every single month. So I will redo it. Well, I would say I redo it every month, but in my digital form, I go back in and I do it every month. So like, for my wireless bill or just different bills that go up and down sometimes, I will just go ahead and change the amount, because that allows me to see like, okay, well, what extra cash do I have and where can I put that extra cash so that I can zero that balance out. And so I like it digital like that, so I can see it easily. In addition to that, I can also reallocate funds to a different place in my budget if I need to, if something else comes up or whatever. So if I'm paying a surplus of something, but something else actually comes up, I might be able to divert those funds there and just push it back. And I have my budget so I can see the entire year. So I know exactly how much debt I'm going to pay off. I know when I'm going to pay off certain debt amount or whatever. So, and so that just makes it like when people, I could tell you, I don't have the date in front of me, but I do have a paper that says, oh, you'll be debt free, at this point in time, because, if you work it out like that. But that gives you so much, it gives you a push, right? Because you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. If you just execute, then you can continue on your particular plan. So plans was one thing that I heard. I also heard you talking about the different government holidays and the things that they have planned for us to spend our money. And I say this in my book, if you don't have plans for your money, somebody else does. Somebody right now is sitting in some penthouse suite looking nice corporate size office overlooking the whole entire city that gets the best sunsets and best sunrises. Their $20 cup of coffee that was entered in by their assistants, and they're planning how you're gonna give them money for when. With this Black Friday, for when this July 4th, for when back to school, for when next Christmas, what's going to be the new hot item out. They already have that stuff in the plan, in the works. You don't think they come up with that in October? No, they have a whole marketing strategy around what it is that they're going to do. They're looking at the numbers, they're looking at what's going on in the economy, and they have somebody in every single department. Why don't you? Why don't you? And so you need to get that part of your life. The budget is the part of your life where you do that. Okay. So that you can be the executive of your finances. So you can be the CEO of your actual house.
Yep.
And so sit down, do that dang on thing, right? Tell your kids no, you can't have that next best thing. Because giving them everything that they want, but not teaching them the knowledge behind it does nothing for them. How did it work out for you is what I asked. How did not having those conversations work out? All right. And then the last thing is loyalty. I wrote down loyalty because I heard you talk about, hey, you got that broker. Don't be loyal to these companies out here. They ain't loyal to you.
They really aren't.
They ain't loyal to you.
Y'all better shop around.
I know that's right. Now I have a big problem with loyalty, but I have found out even in relationship, you be loyal to some dead things. It's not helping you. So go ahead. I know we hate to shop around for bank accounts and different things like that. But if you got your savings or your emergency fund in a high yield savings account and that interest rate goes down, shop around for a new one. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to be stuck.
Exactly. Don't get stuck and don't be loyal to these companies, because I guarantee they will drop you like a bad habit when time, pushes or shoves. So, yeah, that's all I have to say about budgets. And yeah, that's it.
All right. So then let's move on, Queen. Let's talk about, I know a lot of people worry. Y'all like, oh my gosh, I done paid off this debt and my credit score just tanked. Why? Why y'all worried? Isn't the whole goal for you to be whole? I did a live this morning, and I said, I'm all about protecting my peace. And like I said at the top of the call, there's 3 reasons why I will pay off debt: because it robs me of my peace, interest is not paid to me, and my bank account is not happy. Why are you concerned about the score going down? Let me just tell y'all, there is no shortage right now of mailers. They come every day. sign up for this. You qualify for this. You're pre-approved for this. It goes in a shredding pile, but there's no shortage. So if you're worried, if that's your thing, you're worried about your score dipping, I'm here to tell you that don't worry about it. It'll go right back up. That's your thing. That's what you want to do. But if your goal is to be financially whole, right? And when I think of being financially whole, I'm not just talking about the money. I'm talking about the mental, because there's a health cost to just be having financial lack and living in that, and just things is just all over the place and chaos, and you just double-minded and unstable in all your ways. Like, that's biblical. Like, there's a health cost to all of that. And so if you want to be financially whole, you need to owe no man nothing. And you need to stay very clear on your why. Your why. Why did Yvonne decide to get on this financial journey? Is it to free up more money so that I can invest? Is it free up more money so that I can be my own bank? Is it to free up more money so that I can give to other people? Is it to free up more money so I can travel the world? What is your why? So do not worry about a score right now. You need to stay focused on getting rid of the debt so that you can be financially whole. And I don't know, when I was in debt, guys, it was debilitating. It was depressing. I was on welfare. I don't know if that's anybody's story, and I hope that'll ever have to come down your lane. And I'm not knocking anyone who uses the system. That's not doing that. But for me, I never thought that I would get to that moment in my life. So I'm just saying, don't be focused. You're focusing on the wrong thing right now as you're paying off debt. The amount of interest when I look back, the amount of interest that I paid for my student loans, and they're paid off since last year. I got sick. I couldn't believe how much interest I had given AES.
Wait, you gotta celebrate that. They paid off.
But they paid off. Yeah, but I'm saying I couldn't believe how much interest that I had given them. So please, I don't want anybody to get caught up in that. Like, just focus on your why and stay the course on your why. And you will get mailers, just like I'm getting mailers at the end of it. You do not have to worry. They know where to find you. Trust me. If that's your thing and you worried about the credit, they know where to find you. So that's all I have to say about that.
No,
we have some comments. Rashida, can we take some comments? Thank you for sharing this. You are welcome. Finances are so personal, like confession.
I know that's right. It definitely is.
Yeah.
I always say finances are, just make it public.
Yeah, it's public.
I always say finances, it's not about you. It's not about the money. A lot of times it's about our behaviors and it's about our mindset. And so we really got to take care of the things that we need to take care of. And I love how you said debt was debilitating, because it really is. I feel like debt keeps you from your treasures, the treasures that you innately have inside of you. It keeps you from that. And so because you don't have time to actually seek out and think about and do the things that you actually love, because you're trying to steadily pay this bill, pay off this debt. You're trying to, there are people who are like total opposite sometimes when it comes to debt. Some people, they worry about it so much, right? And then there are other people who they just escape by adding more debt because it's so crushing, and they just don't care and don't worry about it. But it's keeping you from your treasure. It's keeping you from building wealth, and it is keeping you from being able to leave a legacy. You can have a doctor's degree and be awesome, right? But you can't leave that degree to your children. But you can leave debt to your children. You can leave debt to your loved ones. You can leave those taxes that they need to pay to your loved ones, right? If you don't handle your business. And so we definitely have to change our mindset about debt, because here's my own favorite quote is that, the world will get you into debt. Your family and your friends will encourage your debt, and the creditors are going to capitalize off your debt until you have the strength to say no. You have to. You have to say no to each one of those entities, and then you need to self-evaluate and also say no to you. What are you subscribing to that's keeping you in debt? Is it the credit? Is it the credit card? Is it the credit score? Right? We know that, we know there's a vital place for the credit score, but if you handle the debt first, the credit score is going to come along. Then you can handle the misinformation that may be on there or whatever, like, addresses and, stuff that's not yours. That's different. But I see so many people worried about their credit score, worried about actually paying off the credit card. Will my score go down if I pay this? Ma'am, sir, pay that off. Pay it off and don't carry on for the next month, because there's too many people out here telling y'all to carry it over. If you don't stop, don't carry that over. Don't give them a dime. Don't give them any interest. If you can help it, don't give them anything. I know sometimes because we're paying them off, that's different. But if you can help it, don't try to incur that interest. Credit card companies are making trillions of dollars. You're sending somebody else's son, daughter, grandson, 5 generations from now to school or whatever it is, because you won't cut the cord, break up with credit cards. You got to break up with this money thing, right? Break up with it, all right?
Break it up. And please know that your credit score is debt.
Yeah.
I'm just going to free somebody right there. Your credit score is debt.
It's how well you manage the debt. That's what it does. You can't have a credit score without debt, y'all.
I mean, if that can just sit with somebody and process what I just said, and maybe somebody will get what I just said.
Yeah. And look, we're not laughing at you guys, because both of us was doing the thing. Like
I made a fan out of my credit cards way back when.
We were really about our credit, and it is, and I know, like I said, I know what place it has, and, but just really try to subscribe to something else. I see people in groups all the time. They go they do everything it takes to get a house, and then they go get a credit card, and they're so happy to have that credit card. What do? Run it up so they can get some furniture in their house. Why? Who says you have to fill your house with furniture within the first month, the first year, the first 2 years? There ain't nobody who's visiting paying your bills
at all.
Get you a bed, get you a couch or a table, whatever it is, and it don't have to be the finest thing. Go down to Goodwill. Go get you something.
Goodwill has some nice stuff. Don't knock the Goodwill now. They have some nice Goodwills out there.
Get one piece at a time. Like it does not have to be. We think we gotta have Martha Stewart and Ashley and whatever other stuff. Stop, man.
I'm gonna be the weird one. I'm gonna be the weird one right now. Rashida's gonna be. She's probably not gonna be the weird one. I'm gonna be the weird one right now. This message is for everyone under the sound of my voice. That if you know that you're not fiscally responsible, don't even do it to yourself. Don't even swipe. Don't even sign up. Don't even. Your best friend right now is to budget, to change your mindset, to budget, to pay off your debt, to save cash and use it. We have to remember that this whole financial thing, 80% of it is behavior. Mm-hmm. We need to change our behavior. 80% of it is changing our behavior. If you can't change your behavior, you don't need credit. Because the reason why you're paying off the debt, I just said credit score is how you're handling debt. So, there are people out there that be like, well, I need the credit because I know they told me the same thing. Yvonne, you need to build it because, and once again, I'm the weird one. You need to build it because you need to buy these big ticket items. Yvonne Brown doesn't subscribe to that. Because it's 80% behavior. And I know that I'm not going to allow myself to get back into that again and risk having being at the mercy of the government should something happen to me. I'm not doing it. Right. So for me, I understand where the place is because I know what society teaches. But how about we try to do something a little bit different and change our behavior? Right. And not fall prey to what everyone out there is teaching us. Do some research, figure out how you can be different and save. And if you don't have it, don't buy it. Don't take out the card, save for it. How about you just try and do something different?
Yeah,
that'll free you from just even owing and carrying over from month to month because you couldn't afford it anyway. That's a poverty mindset. You swipe in and you know you realistically can't afford it. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put these shoes on the credit card because the lady at the counter said if I open it up, she'll give me 20% off. So what?
And the next time you're gonna wear them is 9 months from now, 2 years. We got stuff in our closet. Look, I'm not getting on you. I'm telling you, I'm talking about myself here, okay? But if you can connect with what I'm saying, just go ahead and say, give me an amen. Like, tell the truth, shame the devil, right? You got stuff with tags in your closet. What you saving them for? Because if last year didn't teach you anything, is that we can check out at any time. Life should teach you that you aren't invincible. I'm not invincible. You want them to put you on when you coffin ready? Is that when you ready? That's what you were saving it for? Don't save it. No, live your life now, but plan it and do things in a certain manner. But along with the I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot. But definitely, guys, I know we kind of subscribe to separate little things, so I'm not gonna say anything.
Listen, I know credit has its place.
I'm not gonna say anything contentious right now, but I do believe if you are trying to get out of debt, you don't have a good handle on it. Don't get the credit. Don't get the credit if at all. I say if at all possible, because trust me, I just understand. I understand every situation, but don't do it. Okay. Like the big ticket items that Yvonne is talking about, a car, you can go get a cash car.
It's possible.
It is possible.
And I don't need a credit card to rent a car.
No. Oh no, you don't.
I mean, that's what they told me though, Rashida.
No, you don't. There are a lot of different ways to do everything. I say I remember I was gonna say, but I say if you can, if people can get a car and get like big ticket items with no jobs to flex, please, you can get anything you want to. You don't need no credit.
Let's see what we got here. We got some people's giving us some. So for those of us in the clubhouse, please know that we are also on Facebook and Instagram talking to the people there because we didn't want to leave them out tonight. So we're going to take some comments real quickly. If you are in Firm and Pursue, you cannot share this video. You need to come to my business or personal page to share it. All right. Should I borrow from my 401k to pay off the debt?
Ooh. Don't do it.
That's your retirement. I would not touch that.
Yeah, because here's the first thing. One, you're going to pay a 10% penalty, borrowing from your 401k. And then two, you just lost all the trajectory that you would have, the path that you would have been on. Nobody recommends doing that. You're talking to somebody who has done it. You just going to have to put on your boots, just like I'm having to put on my boots right now and work through that thing, because you have good intentions a lot of times when we start pulling out our retirement. But then when you look back on that bank account, those good intentions, they get swallowed by emergency maybe that popped up. So I would suggest not to do that, but leave that there so that it can it can matriculate is what I would do for myself. Okay, look, because I look, this is me saying what I would do for myself. I do not give out financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. I gotta give that little string. So what you decide to do is what you decide to do. But I'll just tell you from myself personally that, taking out the 30,000 from, I had the intentions to pay out all of my debt, but really at the end of a couple of years, I paid off maybe one or two things and then still ran it back up. So a lot of times we want a fast fix for everything, but it's all about building the resiliency and building the character that it takes to actually get out of debt, to get out of debt. So I would work that side hustle, try to get some extra money. Maybe you might need to pick up a extra job or or do that multiple streams of income. There's a lot of things that you can do right now since a lot of companies do hire online. So for me, that's not something I would do again. And trust me, I have thought about it as this last year and this year has been hitting me hard with some big ticket items, like especially with my house and stuff like that. So if I could possibly stay away from that, I would try it. I know some people are in a position where they have to, and last year, but if you were going to do that, they had a window last year where they actually allowed people to get it without penalty. And I think, was it without payback too? I don't know if it was, but yeah, that window has passed. So that no more, you still got to pay the penalty and you still got to pay the taxes that come along with that. So yeah.
All right.
Great.
I don't have anything to add. I would say, don't touch your long term. That's for your retirement. Yeah, you just need to buckle down and find other ways to pay it down.
Mind blown.
Oh, mind blown. Okay. How can you get anything without credit? So what I will say to that answer is, I get it. I understand why that question is being asked, because of how we live in a capitalistic society and they teach us to build credit. And even for a while, thank you for asking that question. Even for a while, they were saying that you can't even get a home without credit. And that's not true. I learned over the last few years that there's another type of traditional underwriting that can be done. Not all mortgage companies do it, but they don't even look at your credit score. They actually look at what they should be looking at, which is how much you make and your expenses, all of your expenses, right? And so, like I said, not all mortgage companies do it, but there are a few out there that, in my opinion, they do it the right way, so that you are actually buying the house based on what you can afford. Now, like I said earlier, credit has its place, and I'm not saying, I'm just saying credit equates to debt. If you are not fiscally responsible to handle all of that debt, then you need to change your behavior and pay it off. And you need to save as much cash as you can for those big ticket items that you need. If you know you need a car, you need to put some things in place, and you need to plan for that and save up as much cash as you can. The saying I always say is that you have to make a short-term sacrifice for a greater financial gain. I get it. It's not popular. It's not popular to buy things without credit. I get it. I understand. But for me, I cannot go back into that because I have to change my behavior, because I know what it felt like when I had all of that debt, all of that credit, and I did not have a job to pay, and the lenders still wanted their money.
Right.
So I am in the season of my life where I'm giving them their money because I made the debt, and I am saving as much cash as I can, so that when I am ready to buy my next property, they won't turn me away because I have cash. I'm sorry, I've never known anyone to turn down someone with X amount of cash. I've never heard it.
And a lot of times
tell me no.
Yeah.
So listen, I understand that everyone is in different aspects of their journey. You may not have tons of cash lying around, but just be very careful that you don't go back into the debt that you worked so hard to come up out of.
Right.
Be careful of that, because you don't want to be there. You don't want to be in a place where you're like, my God, I fought so hard to get on the other side, and here I am again.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's trillions of people right now in credit card debt, and it's a problem. It's all over the news. You can Google it. Student loans. They just talked about how they forgave X amount of people from these loans because they were bad loans, and people was taking these out and they didn't know. It's a problem. It's a negative thing with the debt. And so I get why they push it so much, because that's how businesses make money. But you have to be your own advocate, and you have to make the decision that's best for you. I can only give you my counsel on why I feel that, it's something that you should be very careful of, so it doesn't consume your life, so that you're not in stores and they're saying, hey, you can save if you get this. Your answer needs to be no, especially if you're serious about your financial journey. You need to be saving as much as you can.
Right.
There's so many people that were in unemployment line last year. My God, they didn't have a plan A or B. Probably had a lot of debt. Take care of their families. What were they going to do? They had to go into the unemployment line to get assistance. I mean, I don't want that to be anybody here. We just need to make better financial decisions.
Yep. And
let's make better financial decisions so that we're not, like I said at the top of this call, there's a health cost to the debt. It is. And you don't want that to be you. So, yep.
And I also think that sometimes we just don't know sometimes we don't know the answer to a question because we've never actually thought about living that way. So when you start thinking, well, how can I live life without utilizing credit? Then that's when it becomes a reality. And so I'm a little bit, my platform is a little bit different from Yvonne, but again, we haven't asked those questions on how to get a car without credit, how to get a house without credit, how to do certain things without the credit as well. So we have to first, once you ask that question, start thinking about how those things are even possible and actually seek out that information. So like Yvonne was talking about with the mortgages and things, a lot of companies will do manual underwriting.
Yes.
When it comes to getting a mortgage loan. And so you can do it like that, which again, getting a loan is still debt. There is no good debt. There is no bad debt. It is just debt. So your creditors always plan for you to be in that house alone that they tie you to for 30 years, because that's going to maximize the interest that you're going to pay to them. Your plan, however, when you get into that house should be, even though you have a 30-year loan, you pay it off in 8 years, 10 years, 7 years. You're going to go all right. 2, cars. Get a cash car. You don't have to get a car you don't have to. Your credit does not have to be run to get a car. If you get a cash car, boom, you don't have to worry about it. They run just as good. I remember people someone picking on me because I had my car for so long. When I'm telling you, man, if it run, it run. You drove up in a Jaguar and I drove up in this Toyota Solara that I had, 2-door with leather seats inside, and I still had my CDs that I would pop in. I just sold it like a few years ago, and true, I love my car. I love my car, and you know, I'm single, so you know, and I've always been like that. I don't subscribe to a lot of society items. Now, I have subscribed to some things, but a lot of the big ticket things I don't subscribe to a lot of times. And so I'm sorry. I will keep my car for forever. So even after I got rid of that car, I had already bought a new car, and my new car, I did get, I got an older car because I knew I could pay it off pretty soon. And so I paid it off in like 2.5 years. So it's paid for right now. And that's the type of stuff that I subscribe to. I don't care how true. I don't like for my car to have noises and stuff and, you know, tearing down the whole block and say, hey, I'm coming. But, you know, I will go get a cash car and let it go. I don't have to have the newest of the new. Like, I don't know how to work all those navigation systems and things like that. So it's about the mindset, because a lot of times we just get that stuff just so we can look good. Dude, you're in your car 45 minutes or, you know, to get to work, to stay at that job, you know. We got to don't, you know, give yourself you got to think differently. Okay. And you got to shift your mindset when it comes to it. You know, I know a lot of utilities, you just have to put down a deposit, you know, if you want the utilities for certain things, but like, that's usually just water and electricity. Even with your credit, you sometimes put down a deposit anyway. So you gotta put down a deposit. So when you get to a certain point, though, that won't matter. Like, it won't matter. Like, it feels like a lot, because when you're in debt, everything that you have to pay for feels like a lot, right? And so, and I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just saying these things. Even I myself have to ask that question. Well, how can I live without credit or whatever? But like, I'm on Miss Yvonne Brown's Affirm and Pursue platform. So
these are good questions, though.
These are, yes, excellent questions. But just, I would say, when you start looking, like, for instance, you don't know how to become a millionaire until you actually start seeking out and seeing what millionaires do and have the answer to that question. So start thinking about it in that way. How can I live without credit? Because I tell you, that is such, you see how manipulative they have actually infiltrated our minds, that we have to use credit in order to live in this life. Like, I mean, people are so ecstatic over you know, being able to apply for an unsecured card. I mean, like, that is like level status, like A1 status, you know. Hey, but you know, now
I was ecstatic when I got mine as an undergrad, and I was only working 10 hours, and I still to this day don't know how I got one.
Exactly. And so,
but you couldn't tell me anything.
No, but I just feel like we have to get that pressure off of our back. Mm-hmm. But I mean, now credit does tell you, it can tell you about yourself too, as well. If you have a habit of paying late and things like that, those are some things that you want to get under control, because when you actually start working on a budget and things, when you start losing money to fees, that's something you need to look at. And those fees add up. And a lot of times I'll go in the call and, you know, $10 adds up if you have several accounts that you haven't paid on time with. And so you got to be diligent too, to ask, you know, make sure your pay dates are right. You know, ask for the ask, right? You know, hey, I can't pay till then. I need you to move my pay date to this. If you can't, can you guys waive the fee? Because I'm paying every month at this time and I can't pay at that time because I can't move. And when the people tell me no with the companies, I tell them, look, it's your company. Y'all can do whatever it is that you want to do. So can I speak to a supervisor? Can I speak to a manager? Because you can do whatever you want to do. You may not want to do it, but you can, because y'all set the rules and regulations. It's your business. And so, so I just think of it like that. What was that last question, Miss Brown? What was that last question?
Yeah, we have a couple more, and then we have to wrap up the call.
This is good.
What about the reason why I work? I'm not sure.
About the reason why I work.
Can you add some more context to that, Queen? I'm not sure about that one. But what about the reason why I work? I feel so lucky to have this session tonight.
Oh,
thank you.
I appreciate you.
Cash is expensive.
You're right. I agree. I do agree. I agree with that. You know why? Because it is. Because once it's gone, and this is how, once it's out there, once it's gone, it's gone, right? It's not once you spend it, it's gone. And so, and a lot of times if you are, doing cash, in some incidences, and depending on how you negotiate, sometimes it can be expensive. So but again, like I said, it feels more expensive when you are in debt. People who have money, have no problem negotiating. They have the money to pay to drop $20,000 on, they need to do some repairs on their home.
But why should they pay the $20,000?
Exactly. They're not going to actually try to pay the top dollar. They're going to negotiate that pay. And so it doesn't feel expensive for somebody who has all of their ducks in a row. And so, and I'm not saying, I understand that, because I can feel that myself. Cash is expensive, but it is expensive when you're in debt. But imagine you having a fully stocked emergency fund, right? Imagine you having no debt, right? Imagine that, all the funds, you have enough money to put into different sinking funds for a new car, a boat,
whatever you want.
Spend 2 years traveling the world, sitting in Singapore and Taiwan and Madagascar and Zimbabwe. Look, we're going to Peru. The
sky's the limit.
Look, I'm trying to put it in. Yes. And so, imagine if you had all of that set, because there are people out here becoming everyday millionaires, and it's not because they got something this quick. They have been strategic about the steps and the things that they subscribe to, and subscribing to the world's view, the big business view. They're going to rob you of your dollars. So most millionaires, there's a lot of millionaires that live very simplistic life. They'll be driving a, what are those, like Oldsmobile or something like that.
You don't even know. Right. Because it doesn't show. Right.
The wealth whispers and poor screams very loud, because what do we have to make ourselves feel good? We have our hair, we have our clothes to say, hey, I'm here. I'm somebody. I'm enough. But you would be enough with none of that.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to get to. You would be enough without the big house, the brand new car, the J's sitting on your feet, the mini Jordan or the jersey sitting in your closet, without having to go to the next Cardi B concert or the next, Lil Kim. I don't know. Look, no, Lil Kim is my time. That's way back there.
Dating.
Who's fire right now? Look, I'm aging myself. Who's fire right now? Next Lil Wayne concert. I know he's still getting up in there, but you gotta just unsubscribe to a lot of that stuff. And I get it, but once you start changing your mind, you're gonna feel a little left out. You are, because
you're not going to be popular.
You're not going to have the same.
Because it's not popular.
It's not popular, and your friends aren't going to understand. They're going to think you're trying to be bougie. They're going to think you think you're too good, and you're telling them no, and they're not going to understand. That's why I seriously tried to tell people up front, hey, this is what it is. Look, I'm on a budget on my food. Don't touch this. Look, I'm so anal. And now, look, don't touch this. I'm on a $40 budget for eating every week. That's it. Like, I went to the store. I planned out what I was going to eat. And this is what it is. You know, I said, hey, I was intentional. I'm not going on any trips this year.
Yeah.
I also said that I'm not going out like I was. And so spending, because I'm the type, I want to pay everybody's way sometimes. And so can't do it.
Can't do it. Yeah, it's all about it's the mindset, right, Rashida? It's the mindset, and then it's also setting up boundaries with yourself and others.
Exactly.
And it's not always, it's not popular.
It's not. But I guarantee you, how much more can you give to people when you put yourself in a place so that you can actually live out that abundance mindset? Now, you can live out the abundance mindset now, but I don't feel, for me personally, being crabs in the bucket, I'm not trying to be the crab in the bucket. I'm trying to get out the bucket so then I can actually pull somebody else out the bucket. We can't all, I'm not
can't all be in there.
Being in the bucket.
Yeah.
And so if that takes losing some people, hey, that's fine. Because I can't subscribe to that lifestyle anymore. I can't subscribe to eternal debt. I have seen people, and let me tell you how real it is for me. And I don't know how this even came into my mind the other day. It is so real that I had a friend in my 20s give up her kids because she could not afford them. She did not consult her family. She didn't even consult real friends. Nobody. It was like over a weekend, they were gone because I used to drive her. And if you live in Houston, baby, we have to drive. I used to drive her from our job on my side of town all the way. It takes you like at least 45 to an hour just to get over to the other side of town to drop her off her home and, you know, come back to my side. And so I used to help her, but just one day her kids weren't there. And I was like, what? You know, now I didn't judge her for that, and because, you know, when you have friends, you have friends, you support them. But now, like, when I look back on it, man, why didn't you just say something? Why didn't you ask the ask? But people are that, it gets that desperate. It gets that dark for people. That is a life-changing event, not just for her children, her children's children, for her family's legacy. It's life-changing. And it was flabbergasting. So it was just so astonishing. That's how serious people are taking their lives. So check out of society's norms and start making some of your unpopular decision. Unpopular. I had to tell last year I was doing I wouldn't call it a fast, but it was just me like, hey, I'm not eating out for 3 months. I'm going to eat at home for 3 months, which it actually extended because once COVID kicked in, it just extended. I'm like, I'm supposed to be off of this, but I just had to stay home and eat, right? But that's the reason, because I was intentional. I had assessed my budget. I assessed my bank account and what I was spending. And I was spending like $300, $500 a month, maybe.
Oh, it adds up.
And eating out.
It adds up.
As a single, it's easy to do that, right? And that's on top. I was still buying groceries with the intention of cooking and throwing them away 2 weeks later when the lettuce and all of this is rotten.
Yeah.
So, and this is what, so we just really have to be intentional. So we thank you guys for, man, those questions are so.
No, this is good. I love this. I love it. And our people in Clubhouse, we see you. We see you, Cheryl. We see you, Nona. We're just resetting the room. We are on Facebook and Instagram tonight because we didn't want to leave our community out there. So we're having conversations there, but we see you guys. So thanks for joining in on a conversation. If you wanted to do a comment, I believe Rashida has the room open on Instagram. You can leave a comment there. So let's see what else we have, Queen. Hey, Carol. Hey, I don't know who hey is. All right. I've owned property but don't want to buy anymore. Why buy for the headache? Well, it is a personal decision, right?
Yeah.
You know, there are other ways that you can use your money to get
Mm-hmm.
what you need. It doesn't have to be property. You know, people, some people invest in real estate funds, right? So they're investing in the fund and not the actual
Right.
structure. You know, maybe that's a way for you
Right.
to
You can
look at what those funds are doing and do that. Because
right.
you know, having property is not, it's not easy. You know, I've heard nightmare stories. You know, I have a couple of friends that have, you know, property. I have property, and I have my moments. But you know, maybe the answer to that is you can still have the property, but maybe you know, you pay the additional if you can for a property manager. That way you don't have to deal with the headaches, you know. That's something that I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
But there are other ways. It just doesn't have to be a property.
Right. And then a lot of times, like you said, you know, we need to make sure that we're consulting with people who are experts in their area and not try to do everything ourselves. And so, but yeah, I agree. I agree.
I buy stuff so I can get up and work.
I would love to dig into deeper. Like, what does that mean? Like, I buy stuff so I can get up and work.
Yeah. Can you, Queen, if you, or I don't know if they're on your page or my page. Let me see if they're on my.
Like, is it tied to?
Sharon, I buy stuff so I can get up and work. Can you expand on that a little bit? Okay. Y'all been all over the world. Oh, listen.
No,
we trying to be all over the world. That's stuff we got on our boards. She trying to go to Madagascar. I'm trying to go to Bali, Dubai. We trying to go all over the world once we free that situation.
But everybody knows I don't like to fly. I was just gonna do a virtual. I'm gonna do a virtual.
You gonna have to fly to some of these places. What, you gonna go on a boat?
I have to do a virtual tour. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, you gotta touch down on the land, sis. You gotta get on the land.
I know. I know. I do.
Cash is expensive, but so is poverty. Financial literacy requires strategy, implementation, and discipline. Yes, Carol. That's what we've been saying.
Yes. My cabbage patch. Do the cabbage patch.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about at the top of the call. One of the strategies is a couple of the strategies is changing your mindset and doing things that's not popular, right? Mm-hmm. Making those decisions that are against the norm.
Yvonne, let me tell you what's popular. What's popular is credit and how can I fix my score when you see 300, 500 people on Clubhouse trying to work on just the credit score. Yeah. Can you work on your debt? Yeah. Can you get a plan for that?
Yeah, we don't have a lot of people. I mean, you guys can look at our Clubhouse room right now. We have the queens in there representing Cheryl and Nona. Thank you guys. But we're not popular. That's okay. Jesus wasn't popular.
He sure wasn't. You better say that. You better say.
Even though he did good things.
Ooh,
that's okay.
They killed him. Same.
Sure enough did. That's all right. That's all right. Damn, poor screams loud. Wow, another. Oh, you love her. You love Rashida's comment. Say it again, Rashida. Say it again for the people in the back.
Yes, poor screams very loud. I see you all the way across the room with your Gucci belt on. I see you. You know, Gucci down, right? I see you because that's what we have to have. And not that people who don't have money don't have that, but understand. And this is why I say don't compare. People with big look. Let me tell you how much entertainers had to pivot last year. They had to pivot. That's why you see them on social media and in Clubhouse a lot more than what you used to, because they had to pivot. They needed to make money too, because they were paying big ticket items just like we're paying our big ticket items. They're just at a different level. But I guarantee you they're still living. A lot of them are still living to paycheck. And so they probably, you know, even I saw an article about basketball players, you know, not knowing, hey, what's going on, because a lot of basketball players were living paycheck to paycheck.
Oh yeah, they get that money and they don't know what to do.
Exactly. It doesn't matter that you get yourself up out the hood or wherever it is that you came from. You need money management. It is the reason why we continue to see people pop up with, you know, hey, so-and-so didn't pay their taxes, or Tony Braxton doesn't have any money, you know, like when we see all of that, it's because you need to put the right people in place, and don't just try to hire people and not be involved, right? That's how you get screwed because you don't know exactly what's going on. I have somebody new. I've done my taxes all my life, and so now I have somebody actually doing them for me because I don't plan to leave no money on the table, and they know the laws. So I want to make sure that I get every penny and that I don't pay anything too. Like, I ain't trying to pay, but I still got to be honest and legit. But, you know, and I lost my train of thought with that one. But we definitely, you know, we just have to, you know, hook up with the right people and know exactly, know what they're doing too. So just don't hand your stuff out, but you need to know what's going on as well.
Ask questions, get clarity, you know. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I need motivation to get up and work for the man.
Okay, look, now I know everybody subscribes to different things. You know, this world is ever changing, but I subscribe to, you know, Christianity, right? And in the Bible, it says that we don't work for anybody, we work for God. So if you go into that job and work like you're working for the Lord, then you won't have to worry about working for the man. That's just something that you have to deal with while you're there. If he brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. And so you just gotta, you know, worry and start thinking, change your mind about your job. Okay, this is a gold mine, right? A gold mine is not easy. You got to do some work to actually dig up and get the gold. But that paycheck is your goal, but you're going to use it to fuel your dreams. See, if you stay on your job 10, 14, 20 years and you have nothing to show for it, but still just debt, whose fault is that? Because at least they kept their end of the bargain and give you your paycheck, right? They didn't say it was going to be easy. They didn't say everything was going to be nice. Or at least they gave you that little smile when you first signed in and you figured out in the first week, oh man, what in the world did I didn't sign up for? But still, go in there, know who you working for. And that way you kind of change your mindset. And actually, because when I look back, you know, through the years, I've made $1 million, right? Through the years, if I look 15 years of being an educator, I have made $1 million. But where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it?
Plug the holes, people. We got to plug the holes. I'm telling you. It's
in the landfill. It's in the landfill. I didn't ate out so much, you know. Or I didn't thrown some stuff out in the clothes that, you know, you give away and throw away and all kind of stuff. So yes.
But Queen, can I just say something to this statement? I understand. I understand that. 2013, I walked into my job, and by the end of the day, I had no job, right? So now my mindset is different. And I get what you're saying, but just know that your job is a resource, right, for you to do what you need to do as it relates to your finances. There are a lot of people that don't have jobs right now. So think of it that way. And I know depending on what you do, it may be a toxic environment. And if it is, okay, you may need to just make some changes and, you know, put some things in place. Maybe you need to get out of that department, or if the company in totality is just toxic, move out of that company. But just know that, you know, I'm grateful. All I'm saying is I'm grateful to have employment because I know what it felt like not to have it. I'm grateful that I have the employment and I have the financial means to apply to my financial matters so that it'll set me up to one day be my own boss and have what I put in my vision, what I put in my plans to do, right? So if that's something that you desire to do, just think of it that way. Yeah, you know, ask God to give you the motivation to get up and know that, you know, while you're in that place, to use the money to pay off your debt, to save, to invest properly, so that you're in a position, should you need to shift now and go into something else, that you'll be okay. whether it's being a full-time entrepreneur, you've saved up enough cash, you don't have any debt, whether it is shifting into another department. A lot of people, they move into entrepreneurship. That may not be for everyone. That right now, that's not for me to move into full-time entrepreneurship. I didn't get that confirmation from God, right? And I'm using my job as a means to an end, because I know what my desired state is going to be at the end of all of this. So I know it may get hard, but what's your routine in the morning? Do you have a successful routine? I'm all about that. I've been in stressful situations where I'm like, oh God, I got to go to this place again. But what has helped me is to just have a routine in the morning where, I'm doing my devotion, I'm having my moment with God, I'm doing my praise and worship. That's mine. Find something that works for you, that can pump you up, that can get you in the mindset to say, you know what, this is not always going to be. This is just in the meantime, right? And go in there and put in your 100%, because God gave you that job. And just be thankful for it, and just say, God, I know this is where you had me for now, and I know it won't be always, but just let me show up and do my job and do the best that I can do in it. And when it's time for you to move me into something so much better, and He will do it. And you never know where you are today. You may be learning skills. This is my spirit. You may be learning skills that you can use to create a side hustle.
Amen.
You never know, right? So just try to look for some positivity while you're in the situation, and think that way. What is it that I'm doing now? Write down some of your strengths, write down what you're doing, and maybe you can look to transition some of those skill sets into a side hustle, so that you can do that and build a pot of money on the side. And then if you feel as though that, I'm at the end of this, and this W-2 life, and you're set up on the other side, you can transition into that. So just look at it like that. I know it's hard sometimes, because I've been there, but just try to reset your mindset in that way. That this is, and in the meantime, right? This is not going to be forever, and I'm here for a reason. Okay, so hopefully that helped you. We got some other comments, Rashida. You got something else to say?
No, that's great information, because I know all about toxic work environments, and I know. Look, I'm the same person who has had to go on break, cry. Okay, cry during break so I can just get through the rest of the day, because I was already making 20% less than when I was inside the classroom, and I could not save. I couldn't save. And that's one of the reasons why I was pulling out of retirement, and that's why I don't recommend it. And so but the environment was toxic, because the fact that the workload was so great, and they even agreed, the leaders agreed, it was too much work. Did not get it done. I was working from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. There was no self-care in there, and I felt like a total failure. And so the only light in there were my kids, like to work with the kids and really pull them through and to inspire them and give them inspiration. That's where I could show up. But other stuff on the back end was not happening. It was not happening. And when I actually tried the self-care, the workload got greater. And so it was, and we had a sit down, and they were like, well, what's going on? I was like, well, I'm not working over anymore. That's exactly. But I ended up having to quit that job. And normally you would quit with actually having another job. Nope. I quit. I said, I'm not coming back. And I did not have a plan. I did not have a plan to where I was going. I had a vision because I had written it down. And guess what? That vision actually came true. I wrote down exactly the salary that I wanted to make. And I wrote down, I did not want to be back in the classroom. And I actually got into that. But, I went from one toxic place, because sometimes when you get to your dream, it's not what you expect it to be. But I actually love what I do. It's just people ruin stuff, right? And so we have to take our focus off of other people And sometimes that's hard because there are people who will be out to destroy you, especially in some of these corporate environments, and they will try to make your life a living hell. I just got to say it. They will try to do it and run you down. And so when it comes to something that is really affecting your self-esteem, who you are as a person, your vitality, you really need to evaluate that. And I tell people all the time, I'm not afraid to, I'm going to write you. I'm putting in a grievance. I'm going straight to HR. If you stay silent, people are going to run over you. Yeah. That's just what it is. So I don't know what it is, but I know I've worked in a lot of toxic environments, and most people don't speak up, and they let the bully, because there are plenty of bullies in corporate America, continue to ruin lives. And so
you have to choose you, right? Mm-hmm. Especially, and I'm going to keep saying this again, just like debt, having a great amount of debt can be a health cost, being in a toxic work environment, and constantly being downtrodden and not seeing your way clear, it can be a stressor. It's a health cost to that as well. And you have to choose you, because you only get one life, and you are worth it all. And so, I totally agree with that, Rashida. 2 jobs ago, I chose me, and me and God had a conversation, and I made it clear with my mom what I was going to do, and I gave my resignation. They got 7 days notice out of me, and I did not have a job when I gave, and I didn't have anything lined up, and it was scary, because I'm on a debt payoff journey, y'all. I need my income to do that.
It was scary.
But if some of y'all know my story, back in when I was laid off in 2013, and I finally got something at the tail end of 2014, I vowed to God that if he just get me through, I would change how I handled my money. And in changing how I handled my money, I had to change my mindset. And in changing my mindset, that meant I had to depend on him as the source, not my job, him, right? And so, because fast forward to 2019 when I resigned, 2018 when I resigned, because I knew that he can do all things, he's my shepherd and I lack nothing, I was okay with it, right? I knew that I was going to get something. And I'm telling you guys, it's nothing like just walking out on faith. I put in my resignation. I didn't have anything. By the time I left the campus, because I worked for a college at the time, I had a job.
Amen. Obedience.
Because see, it wasn't worth it for me to continue to give up myself and be trampled on. And not feel like I had a voice, having to constantly prove myself over and over again when I was proving myself. And it was the flesh part of me. I was scared. Oh yeah, I was scared. But I had to remember where I had been and how far he had brought me. And I had to remember, Yvonne, the job is not your source. The job is a resource. And the same God that gave you a chance to renew again in 2014 is the same God that is going to get you through this season of your life. So, Queen, I'm just going to encourage you and let you know that he knows what you need. Just make it plain to him. We ain't got to sugarcoat. He knows. And when the time is right, he'll move you into something greater. Woo, child, this is great. What else we got? Okay, so Carol, 2 different times a year, I do a no spend challenge during the month. All right, love it. My no spend challenge includes only paying my monthly bills. During these months, I don't eat out or purchase things that are not necessary. Carol, you are amazing. Yeah. Carol will be speaking on the Affirm and Pursue platform in a couple of weeks. So for those of you who are not connected, y'all need to come on in and hear her story. Group.affirmandpursue.com. Come on in and hear this queen's amazing story. Thank you for that, Carol. That's why I buy. Okay. That's why you buy. Okay, cool. I'm not sure. You buy what, Queen? Give us some more explanation there. I don't like to fly either, but when the world reopens, I'm going everywhere.
I know that's right.
Good.
No, that's right.
One life. You only get one life. You know, just be safe, you know, and enjoy it.
Amen.
I hate the tax man. Okay.
Look, you better look. Hold on. Let me address that.
Why you hate the tax?
Don't hate the game. Okay. If you can't beat them, you
talk about that, right?
You better join them, because here, let me tell you, you hate the tax man because I don't know why you hate the tax man, right? But a lot of people are scared and afraid of the tax man. But if you ain't doing your stuff right, then you can't benefit if you don't have all the pieces to the puzzle. There are two, I guess, ways for taxes to go. You can either be on the employee side or you can be on the business side. Okay. Schedule C. Okay. Schedule C for us business owners, or depending on that's as a sole proprietor, you know, but there's two different, those are the two different tax laws. And we are a capitalistic society. So you know who's taxed the most? The people who work the hardest. The people who are down in the ground, digging, tooling, you know, whatever it is. If you work for someone, you are getting taxed. Your labor is taxed more than if you put your money in a bank and invested it, right? If you put it in an investment and it made money. Making money is taxed way lower than your hard-earned, muscle, to the grind, right? And so don't hate the tax man. You be happy if you actually got a rebate, because let me tell you this, 2018, the tax laws, though there were a lot of changes 2018, but Amazon, baby, they paid $0 in federal taxes on billions of dollars of profits. And then on top of that, they got a rebate, a refund. No, I say rebate.
No, not a refund. A rebate.
It's your money coming back to you again. Now, this rebate means they did not pay any federal taxes, right? Think about that. Yet they got $179 million back. Why is the question you need to ask. And how can you do it on a smaller scale is the question you ask. Because see, when you don't have all the rules to the game, you are going to always lose. And so I have had no problems with the tax man ever. Thank God. Look, I thank God. I don't even look. I ain't knocking on wood because my God is greater than some wood. Okay?
You're right.
So, but yeah, you have to learn. You have to learn the ways of the land. We're capitalistic, so this is why people who say they don't want to talk politics and all of this, all of that stuff has to deal. When they sitting in those boardrooms and around that podium, they're making laws that affect each and every one of us. And so you can either take advantage of them or not. And people who refuse to hire somebody to even take a look at the taxes that they prepared, if you want to do them themselves, you have enrolled agents with the IRS, you have accountants, you have actual tax lawyers who can help you look at your taxes and make sure that you're getting every dime, every single deduction, every single credit that you need, because they follow the laws. You know what? And you shouldn't be hating the tax man. Hate the tax company who's rapid refunding, because while you get $6,000 back, they're going to give you $4,000 and take $2,000 of yours. How many people do they need? Think about how many people they need just to make $100,000. They can do that in a couple of months. To me, that's and they, where those companies, where they put those companies, they put them in those socioeconomic neighborhoods.
They strategically place them there.
People who don't have money. It is very strategic. Again, like I said earlier, who builds a house? without first going to and looking down and sitting down the plans to see if they cost. These companies search out where they're going to put these items. So it is not by chance that you see the check cashing place there to take your dollars. It is not by chance that you see the title loan place there. It is not by chance that you see the pawn place or all these other entities trying to get your dollars. Why would you spend all year at a job that most of us don't like around people that we'll never invite into our houses?
We ain't breaking bread.
And giving a free loan to the government to then come back and have somebody take 1/3 of it because you can't wait patiently.
And that's the second or the first 1/3. The other 1/3 is inflation. And if you have debt, God help you. And if you subscribe to big business, God help you again. It adds up, people. So we just here to educate you guys, to free somebody tonight, just to free somebody tonight, because I'm all about giving the right information, having access to the right information, because I didn't always have it. And so I don't know it all. But what I do know, I am sharing, as is Rashida. And so, that's why if you don't have a home-based business, consider getting one. I just talked about earlier, you're at that job that, you need motivation to get up. You need to look at your skill sets and see how you can translate that into some type of home-based business. If you're good with organizing, if you're good with planning, you can be an event planner on the side. Make that a home-based business so those tax laws can now be in your favor. Exactly. Because see, businesses, we can be a little late on our taxes, a little bit, but a W-2, no. You got to make sure you do your taxes. It's just the game is just not equal on both sides. It's more in favor of people who have businesses. So you need to make sure that you understand that and start getting something on the side. You should anyway. You should have something extra coming in.
You're right, and it doesn't have to be like you're trying to be out to be this Fortune 500 company, right? You can do stuff on a small scale. The mom and pop shop and myself sitting in my house doing business in my office get the same tax advantages as a business making billions of dollars of money. We're just doing it at a smaller scale. So while you're sitting at home watching TV, the entertainment in my office could be deducted. While you're sitting at home on your internet playing games, the internet in my home is being deducted. While you're on your cell phone talking to Lil Pookie and whoever else and them, your cell phone is just for entertainment. My cell phone is being used for business and it is deduction. My car mileage is a deduction. These are things you're already using. A percentage of my utility bills is being deducted.
And let's not forget, if I go travel.
Exactly. No. You're going on a business trip, honey.
A business trip, yes.
Yes. Deducted. All right.
That's right.
They say all you gotta do work 4 hours. And for 4 hours and 1 minute. You can do that at any time. I'm gonna split them hours up, right?
That's right.
Hours up, but you just be intentional about it. And the IRS says that they can't do anything if you decide or happen to actually have fun while you're out there.
They can't do nothing.
So, but
don't hate the tax man. Don't hate him,
please, and consult with a financial planner too. A tax person, a tax planner throughout the year, because tax planners, if you got a good one, they'll be like, hey, look, they just pushed through this, this law, and you can go out and do this and deduct it all off on your taxes right now. I learned a law last year. I think it was section 179 or something like that. I got to look it up, but I know what it was. I couldn't take advantage of it at the time, but there are sometimes you can buy like big ticket items, put them into use in your business, and take the whole amount off of your taxes the very next year. And so a lot of people will do that at the end of the year. Big companies don't give away for charity just because they feel so good. No, it is a business transaction, and it is good for business to donate and give to charity. So ask. Look, ask them for the money.
I know that's right. I'm in a coal mine. All right. Did you mean gold mine or coal mine?
Look, maybe that's a little grindier than the. Oh, I get it. He probably like, I ain't in no gold mine.
Oh, you in a coal mine? Lord. Okay.
My job ain't. He's like, my job ain't. My job not a gold mine. It's a coal mine.
It's a literal coal mine. All right, Queen. Well, guess what? We gonna keep you lifted, because, as I say, just start. You know what? Start planning your exit strategy if you can. Start looking at, what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
If that's not where you want to stay, just start planning out where you want to transition into.
And sometimes that's scary because we get complacent.
Yeah.
And, we just get used to the toxicity. And so, because I know how I am, I get complacent and I will take abuse. And I have done that for a long time. I will take the abuse there's sometimes we have to walk away. And so I would definitely the peace.
Protect your peace.
Oh, the peace.
It's nothing like having peace.
Yeah. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Carol, I'm using my job to fund my entrepreneur goals. I actually love my job, and I'm using my skills to add to my current businesses that I can continue to monetize my skills. Mindset is definitely necessary. It is.
Amen.
Mindset is okay. This is amazing.
Yes.
Love this. Job is a resource, not a source. Yep.
And that's
You're
scary.
welcome, Carol.
That's scary, Yvonne. When you think about your job as a resource and not the source, it is very scary. It is a lot of faith attached to that. So don't just hear that quote. Don't just hear that saying and take it lightly, because it really is a mindset. It is so afraid to even think in that manner. I'm telling you, like, if you embody and embrace that, it's the scariness, like, oh my gosh, it's trembling. This is weak. This is weak in sign language, but it just gives a good imagery that, like, trying to stand up on that particular principle, that calls for a lot of faith. It calls for a lot that you have to shift in your whole being just to think like that, because my job is not my source. I'm gone. Bye. Because that's how much I trust God. But look, we leave it out of feelings, because God is strategic, right? And so don't let your emotions drive you. Always. That's right. The logic and the logical decisions. There have been people in bad places, but yet the Lord has risen them in front of their enemies. They have, He has put them up. And so make sure you keep that connection, because you want to hear from His voice. And and not the voice of internal in turmoil and out of pain and things like that. So just you have to. A lot of times I'll just be like, look, Lord, I mean, I know it seems like you're telling me this, but I need you to make it plain, because
right.
What's the next step?
No static.
Because was that dream? I'm like, because you sometimes you feel like you're talked to in different ways. People, it comes in different ways, but just be strategic about it and try not to do stuff out of emotions. I had to learn that, in my early 20s, and look, I know this might be a side that never leave long messages. Don't leave a voicemail. No emotional voicemails. All right.
Yes, I love it. Love it. Carol, we're so proud of you. Thank you for your comments. For everyone that showed up today. Did we have anything on Instagram, Rashida?
I refreshed, and let's see. I don't have any inquiries about tonight, but we definitely have our inquiries about our upcoming Reignite Your Finances conference coming through. Y'all gonna see so much of us. Y'all probably gonna be like, oh Lord, what they talking about that again? Yes, we talking about it again. We're gonna be in your face and we talking about it again. Because you know what? In order for me to change my mindset, not only did I have to fire some people, I had to fire my mindset, I had to fire some friends, and then I had to gain new ones, and I had to hear the same messages over and over. So I subscribed to different podcasts, and I subscribed to different books and things that they were saying. And I actually surrounded myself, and I met Miss Yvonne right here, who was in Pennsylvania and Texas. And I actually showed up to plenty of workshops, same exact workshops over and over to hear the same information until it seeped down deep down. And so the same way we get into, spirituality and religious and things like that, you have to continue. It says abide in me, right? Because when you abide in whatever you're abiding in, it's going to consume you, and that's what's going to help you get through. So our Reignite Your Finances Summit is May 2nd. It's 2021, okay, this year, right? And so if you want to register, go ahead. You can see it on the screen now. You can sign up. We're looking for sponsors, and we're looking for attendees. This is boot camp style. We are not playing. So yes, we talked about budget. Yvonne gave the steps to that about income, and your expenses, but we're going to break it down and show you how to do that budget. We're going to have sponsors who are there speaking to you about, how to get a house. I think we need to really find somebody. How can you get it without the credit? We have both sides, because we really want to give all the information, how you can actually start self-banking, things of that matter. Putting an estate plan together. Where should you start? Okay. Like a lot of us don't have wills and living wills. Even Mr. Chad Boswick, did I say his name right? Who was Wakanda, our Black Panther, he died without a will, y'all. And his wife.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
His wife has to go through his mother in order to do things. So they're in probate court. And you know how long probate court takes? As it is not an easy thing, and it is long. Save your family time if you can. And I'm not talking just to you. I'm talking to myself as well, because that's something one of my friends and I talked about. Like, hey, we need to have it done. We were supposed to already have it done by December of 2020, but that's something that's like hot on my list. Okay.
Yes.
So, especially when my job thought I had COVID. Look, that was the first thing I wrote down. Will. I wrote it down.
We laugh, but that's serious, right?
It is. I want my people to be able to grieve without dealing with all the other stuff, because you don't really properly grieve if you have to deal with everything. So we're really looking to help people. We're going to have also on the spot coaching. People can send in their information ahead of time. We will answer those questions, and they will have a good idea to give you some real feedback, because we don't ever want to do drive-by coaching, right? The little patches and stuff. And so we're looking to really help some people. And guys, when you come, you only need one or two things. We're trying to fill your life with a bunch of stuff and make you feel good for 45 minutes. And then guess what? You're like, oh, that was good. That was nice. You're energized for one more day, but it's not Sunday school. So you're not coming to us every week, right? But we're going to want to give you at least one or two things that you can actually take with you, that you can implement what's already there, and then go ahead and take the next step. So our sponsors are actually going, we're looking for them to give you at least 3 things that you can do now that's low to no cost to go ahead and ignite your finances, right? And so those are the type of people that we want. We want action, because we've been home for a year and we've been in a lot of virtual events. And so you're going to need pencil, you're going to need a paper, and you're going to need to get to
you're going to be in class.
Building it. Yeah. Building the dream, building the vision. We're not sitting down. We're not just listening anymore. It's time to do. It's time to take action. And that's what Reignite Your Finances Summit is all about. So we want to see you there. I'm going to let Yvonne go ahead and kick in there. We definitely want to see you there. We want to hear those testimonies, because this may be something that we actually do each year. We got to have, a conference, come back up, and we'll host different ones throughout the year. But we definitely want to hear your testimony, because you got to be around like-minded people.
It's important.
If you don't subscribe to like-mindedness, I'm sorry. Like, you're putting yourself, stop trying to do everything yourself. Stop. It's okay. You made some mistakes. I made plenty.
We all have.
We keep talking about them. So that we become so comfortable with the mistakes that we have made, so that you guys can become comfortable with the mistakes that you have made. You might make more mistakes, and guess what? It's okay. It's the person who has picked themselves up and continued on the journey, or the person who stays there and ruminates over that same negative idea and thing that they did. Those are the separate paths that you have. And so just pick yourself up. It's okay. I mean, it is okay, but we definitely want to see you there.
Yes.
If you know somebody, if you know a friend, a family member, then, actually get somebody's ticket for them. Get somebody's ticket for them. And if they will come with you, do it with a friend.
Gift it.
Yes. Do it with a friend. So, all right, Miss Yvonne, that's my speech.
Yes, no, that's real. And for the ladies that are in Affirm and Pursue, you guys know that I'm all about the goal checks, right? And so this is leveling up now. It's level up time. For those of you who have been with me for a while, before it was called Affirm and Pursue, it was called My Money Matters for Women. This is level up time. Okay. So we need to now get serious. We need to now take advantage of the right information, even though we've been pouring into you with right information, but get in front of the experts, more experts, people that are willing to come and share and teach you how to reignite your finances. So if you want to be an attendee, that's bit.ly/RYF Summit 2021. Or you can go to, actually it's Reignite Your Finances. Sorry, that's the wrong one. But you can go to Reignite Your Finances. And if you want to be a sponsor, you go to bit.ly/RYF 2021. We have a short questionnaire for you to fill out. We have various packages available. It'll give you an opportunity to instruct, get some visibility there for you, and you'll have an opportunity to give back. Right? Because we're not about keeping all of this goodness to ourselves. Okay. I keep telling you, we need to share all of this knowledge and get it out there to the masses. Okay. So that's all I have for tonight.
On that Bitly.
Great. Good stuff, Carol.
On that Bitly, is that okay? So you have to notice, y'all make sure that you type in the Bitly correctly, because otherwise it's not all lowercase. So kind of have to put that there. But I think we changed it up just a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, let me put it in there. Reignite Your Finances.
And it's all lowercase.
Lowercase r, right?
Yes.
Let's see.
That way it will be easy for you guys to remember.
And I will drop it in the groups again. Rashida will drop it in her groups. So you'll be seeing this out. Please share this information, because we really, really want to impact those who are really serious about reigniting their finances. So go to bit.ly. There you go. Reignite Your Finances and sign up today. And like Rashida said, gift this to somebody. If you know you can't make it, or you can't make it, or you don't, maybe you're far along in your financial journey. You're good. You're set. Wonderful. Someone else may need this. So gift it to them. And we hope to see you guys May 2nd, 2021. So you'll see us again.
All right. Well, it was so great talking with you, Yvonne. And it was so great for all the wonderful people that actually chose to stay with us for a few minutes of their time and their lives. We hope you guys.
This was only supposed to be 30 minutes.
It really was, but I mean, you all kept the conversation going, and that's what it's all about. I didn't have, look, if I had something on my schedule, I was looking at my schedule. I didn't have anything else on my schedule. So really, it just touches my heart, and I don't know how I guess I know how, but I'm loving just talking about this money thing and really just helping people, Oh my gosh. Because I'm telling you, I cannot wait to turn up with some people who are debt free when I am debt free. Baby,
We're gonna have a party.
That party is gonna be so lit. You can't tell me nothing. You can't talk to me because you have not walked in these shoes. You baby, ain't no party like a debt-free party, because a debt-free party don't stop.
Don't stop at all.
Look.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned to this spaces. We will be back again because this is necessary. Please, guys, we are on Clubhouse. We're going to be doing more Clubhouse sessions. We'll actually be doing a Clubhouse next week. We'll post that information in the Click to Cash. So if you haven't connected with us on Clubhouse, do so. I'm at Yvonne Brown, and then Rashida is at Rashida Roberts. So go on and connect with us on Clubhouse and get into the Click to Cash room. We'll be doing a session next week, Tuesday, around reigniting your finances. So you definitely want to stay connected. But we won't forget about everyone that's not on an iOS system. We will definitely be back in Facebook and Instagram to pour into you guys as well. So thank you again for your time tonight, Rashida Queen. Thank you as always. And we hope to see you guys on the other side. And as I always say, continue to be great. Bye-bye.
Bye.